Hello again. Welcome back to We Chats with Brilliant People. So in this We Chat, we talk again with 3 times off-road World Triathlon Champion Lesley Paterson, and she talks about the XTerra Worlds in Maui that she won. If you didn't tune into part 1 yet, check it out on wechats.com first. So in this part 2 version, she talks about knowing what works for her and her normal pre-race routines, the self-talk she uses to remind herself of the hard work that she's put into training, and she also focuses on what happened during the actual race. So when she was facing the challenges that came up during the race, she focused on letting go of the uncontrollable aspects that came along the course, and she fully committed to the controllable aspects of her race. This is pretty important in terms of sports psychology, and it's a very crucial component of being able to control your thoughts and emotions and behavior, and then ultimately your performance. At one point during the race, Lesley specifically releases the outcome of the race, and she just allows her body to perform. So that's what she focuses on in this wee chat. She talks a little bit about the lessons she takes away from her whole experience and talks about the magic of actually doing the race. So enjoy this second part of this wee chat with Lesley Paterson about this World Championship race that she did, and we will celebrate her accomplishments on the elite stage. Enjoy this wee chat with Lesley Paterson. Bye for now.
Welcome to We Chats with Brilliant People, hosted by Dr. Allison Rodius, Professor of Sports Psychology at John F. Kennedy University. In each episode, Allison talks to highly successful people in music, sport, and the boardroom. She digs into the mental training techniques that they use to ride out the waves that challenge them in work and in life. So enjoy these We Chats with Brilliant People.
Hi everyone, welcome back to We Chats with Brilliant People. I'm here again with Lesley Paterson in the wonderful town of Mammoth, and here she is, the world champion herself.
Yay.
Again. So this is part 2 of the 2012 look back. So I wanted to focus this time on more about specific strategies so that we can all learn from what you've experienced and other people can be putting these kind of things together. So let's look at specific things that you did, say leading up to the Worlds, but it doesn't have to be for the Worlds. But you know, the Worlds is obviously the big event. That's where you took your crown back. We've talked a little bit about the emotional and psychological journey you've made, but let's talk about some specific strategies that you like to use in training and for a big event. Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, not obviously, but a huge thing for me is music. I've always loved music. It brings about a certain emotional response. So I started throughout the summer because I ended up winning ITU World Cross Championships too. And specifically there I found out that what works for me is to pick a current song that really gets me excited and have a song for each race. So I memorize a song, and whenever I'm feeling anxious, worried, uptight, whatever, or out of rhythm, I have a certain part of the song that I sing that gets me into it again.
So the music and the lyrics, you memorize the whole thing?
Yes, and it's generally, the words play less of a feel of my emotion, and it's more the beat and the music and the rhythm, but obviously learning the words gets me into that. And the reason that specific race was important was it was a very technical, twisty, turny race. It was very easy to get distracted and kind of come out of rhythm. So every time I did that, I used this specific song to get back in it, and I was like, that really worked. So I started doing that in training, and then used that technique for Worlds as well.
So leading up to a race, how far in advance would you start to use a song? Same song all the way through training, and that same song for the race?
Yep. So probably I have a playlist of, say, about 20 songs that really get me going for training, and I can listen to them over and over, and they still bring about a pretty decent response. But I find if I overplay a song too much, it doesn't have the same like chutzpah. So I don't pick it too early, or if I pick it, I try not to listen to it too much. So yeah, probably about a month out or 5 weeks out, I'll listen to it a couple times in training, maybe in key sessions, where I know I'm going to have a good experience, so that it's linked to, you know, a good experience. And then I'll listen to it, you know, directly before the race and what have you. And I'll maybe even, you know, if I went out to the Worlds course about 10 days before, so I did a lot of training on the course, and I used that song and had specific points in the course where different parts of the song would be relevant, so that that would help me keep in the zone.
And are they typically songs that, like, the lyrics just make sense for the race? You know, it's talking about running faster, doing something high, or is it just like a beat, or could
it's
it
generally a beat for me, because I listen to a lot of dance, trancey type music. So it's something that's uplifting, high energy. You know, and most of those songs generally are about love or making someone better, or they're pretty positive in nature. So the words then, you know, kind of match. And there's always a way to find the words to match. You know, you just associate them with a memory or a thought to do with that word. You know, it doesn't have to be uber, when you run fast, or it doesn't have to be that literal. But for me, it's more lyrical and beat driven. So, and it can be, it can just take me into a whole different mood when I hear that song.
Now, did I remember you saying something about during the actual Worlds or just leading up to it, like a week, you would sing a song as you were on the bike to yourself?
Oh yeah.
So because you can't actually listen to stuff when you're racing.
No.
But you can recall a song. That's the beauty of music.
And I had, to be honest, throughout the entire race at Worlds this year, I used one song over and over and over, because one thing I didn't appreciate actually is I went into the lead quite early on. I had a lot of cameras, motorbikes, bikes, helicopters around me, and that can draw you out of the zone, and that can make you remember that you're in this big event. And that's the worst thing for me. You know, I need to feel like I'm just in, you know, out there doing my thing and nobody's around almost. So I sang this flipping song over and over. And sometimes you go past some spectators, I'd sing it out loud. They must have thought, what the heck is she doing? I'm like, la 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 la.
As you're passing everybody.
That's right. I'm like, da, 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 you know, so.
Oh, that's classic.
So it was classic. And what was really cool was this specific song that I had me and Sai danced to it the night before. Like we put on we put on our little headphones and we had a little dance. And then I had like
that image. That's nice.
That was cool.
Isn't it amazing, the power of music and the emotional connection that you can get with it?
And the funny thing is in chatting to some other people, you know, there's some coaches who don't believe in it, don't believe in using music for training. She can't use it for racing. And you know, I've monitored it a lot, and I know there's been plenty of studies on it, but my wattage goes up, you know, my heart rate, I can push harder, I can get a lot of physiological responses. But more than anything, it's taught me, because I've used it so regularly, is methods to get into the zone.
Right.
So now I'm able to get into it even when I've not got it, because I'm so used to coming in and out of it. And it puts me, and because I use a lot of trance dance music, it puts me in a trance.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And I can do that now without music. And people, sometimes when they do see me train, they're like, "Who is this freaking lunatic?" Because I'm like a woman possessed, you know. I'm like, oh. But
you look like that all the time. I think. First thing in the morning. So let's talk about the zone, because it's so elusive for some people, and they talk, oh yeah, gotta get in the zone, and a lot of people, I don't think it has to be that elusive, and I think your zone can actually be flexible.
Totally.
It's not a specific point, like, okay, this is what I'm going for, and if I'm not there, I can't perform to the best of my abilities.
No.
I remember actually you saying last year on the day of the Worlds, you actually didn't feel that great the morning of, but you know, you just had to get out there and do it. So how do you know when you're in your zone? And then let's talk about how any other ways that you get into it other than music. First of all, how do you know when you're in your zone? What does that mean to you?
I think for me it means I'm not aware of anything else. I'm in a tunnel. I'm not thinking about anything really. I feel numb, which I think I've been able to find because of the sheer volume of training that I do, the number of years that I've done it.
Yeah.
Because I've done big volumes, I essentially numb myself through all that training. So I have an ability to numb myself. And that's not always a good thing for relationships and for other things in your life. Right? But it's something I think that's necessary for endurance sport. But because I've also had days where I'm just not there, or everything just seems hyper aware and I can see everything and everything's very distracting, I've still been able to perform through those training days. So I know, as you said, if I get to a race and I'm just feeling that distracted way, that I can still perform.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had plenty of races like that, you know, where I feel horrible, you know, mentally and physically, and I've still been able to put out some good times, and I'm like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah,
you know?
you've just been able to turn it on.
But that gives you the confidence, right? Because then if you're not in that zone and you are thinking everywhere, super negative thoughts, you're irritated, you feel all the pain, you're just like, okay, it's not going to last forever, just keep taking a step forward. And that can even happen within sessions and within races. So I guess some of the techniques that I would use, I probably face those thoughts head on. So the thoughts that I'm having, those negative thoughts, those thoughts of pain, I'll acknowledge them. Like, as I said, I'll have self-dialogue, I'll acknowledge them and I'll give them a quality, and then I'll have, whether it's music or words or thoughts, that can kind of counteract them.
Oh.
And that's, I think we might have spoken about this last year, my 10 and 10. So come up with 10 most common negative thoughts that I have.
We tweeted about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 10 positive ones.
Yeah.
And it sounds really simple, but and you've got to practice it, but it works, you know.
Yeah.
It does. If you have a negative thought that pops in your mind, you acknowledge it, you say, okay, I'm thinking this way, I get it, I hear you. Okay, what's the comeback to that?
Right.
How am I going to fight this thing down? So
It's almost like you have an alter ego.
Yeah, big time. I totally do when I train.
When you're training.
And maybe again, because I've been in the arts and been acting, I create a character for myself. I actually become Tom Cruise, or I become like a gladiator or a character that I'm playing. I'm no longer Lesley Paterson, I'm a character, and that's really helpful.
And is the character the same every time, or is it different?
It's probably the same. It's probably a version of the perfect, you know, athlete, or maybe it's not always the same. It's always based around sort of film or characters, or like I always think about Gladiator or some kind of action star, or you know, something like that.
Yeah.
That kind of gets me into that.
Yeah.
But that's another interesting thing, is that sometimes if I'm out training all day, I'll be in this character all day, and then to suddenly walk up the stairs and become Lesley Paterson again is really hard, and so it can be difficult to live with me. Or if you don't get that, like it's taken my mum and dad a while to get that. Well, my dad is an athlete, so he really gets it. It took my mum a while. Sometimes our other sort of family don't really get that. Because it's literally like, I am a different character. It's like, in fact, sometimes I'm an angry character.
And sometimes, and maybe you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to, I mean, I've been around you a lot, and I think it is hard to, we have to, as your friends, we have to get into a different mindset in terms of, I think a character is a really good way of thinking about it. You're Lesley training.
Right.
And so we don't bother you, or we try not to, and we let you do your thing, and we know that you need to.
Right.
And then when you come out, we're like, okay, well, let's give you a little bit of time to
just like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, just
to like
do your thing.
And I'm like, oh, Lesley the person.
She's back.
She's back.
But I think if you can if people around you can acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And I think that really translates into other aspects of life, not just elite athletes.
No, it does. In business.
Not just it can be any performers, but business is a perfect example.
Big time. And this is the thing that kind of pisses me off about being a professional athlete is, unfortunately, people also do that as their hobby, right? So they assume that the way you approach it is going to be the way that they approach it, because most people can't see outside their own world.
Right.
So, you know, they see my training and they're like, God, she's super intense. And it's like, well, I wouldn't come into your office when you're in the middle of a conference call with a $3 million client and start laughing and joking with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
that is my office, and most people don't understand that.
Well, I think part of it is because it looks like you're having fun too.
Right.
We're like, oh, you're just on a bike.
Yeah, you're lucky thing. It's like, you know, again, it is fun, and I am lucky, and it is a passion, but it's a job.
Yeah, and I think that's probably helped you get to now you realize it is a job, and this is what you're doing, and then if you can educate the people around you. So I think this is the sun's out.
Yeah.
Wow,
See?
this is an aha
Enlightened.
moment. So I think if you can help people around you and educate them about what it is that I guess it's about communication, what it is that you want to receive. How do you want to be perceived? So you put the message out to your friends and family and you say, when I'm doing this is how I need to be, and this is my persona in a way. This is my character.
Yes.
I love that. This is my character, and then when I'm not doing that, just give me a bit of time to
come back to myself, or morph back
decompress or whatever it is. And you know, the same analogy is when you come home from work.
Totally.
And you know,
you normally have the commute, right, to go through that transition period.
Yeah. But you just jump off the bike and then you're right there. So I think there's a lot of things that we can learn from this in terms of communication. One other thing that I wanted to just touch on before we wrap up is when you were at the Worlds, you had stuff written on your arms.
Yeah.
Can you say a little bit
about
that?
So that was Sai that kind of came up with that idea, because I like word association to bring about, again, sort of a positive response. So we spoke about the things I was most fearful of, and what qualities I needed to be successful in this race. And success not meaning necessarily winning, but having a good experience. And I ended up writing on my forearms, be brave and I am free. Mm-hmm. So the be brave stood for, I think, if you're truly going to push outside your limits, you have to face your fears and have the courage to go for it. Mm-hmm. And then the I am free was, I'm free to do what I know I can do, body and mind. I'm free from the expectation. I'm free from the fear. Yeah. All of those negative things, just be who I know I can be. And, you know, let it all go, and that's what it is on the day. Mm-hmm. And it was poetry on the day for me. It was a perfect day all around.
And my guess is that you won't use the same words on another race.
No.
The same way.
I don't think
you won't think about them in the same way.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
That's the freshness that I think you need each time. Don't try to replicate it necessarily. Yep. Just go in with it. Okay, this is a fresh race.
Right.
Sometimes you might want be brave, but other times you might, you'll come up with whatever. Because you'll be listening to different songs.
Yep, you'll be in a different place in your life, different things have happened, it means something different for me. And that's okay too, you know.
That's about adapting.
Yeah, and I think that was another aha moment for me during this race, was with all the pressure and all that, I was physically felt amazing, which was great, but mentally, normally in races of those pressure, or that magnitude of pressure, I've not enjoyed the experience. I've felt blocked and nervous the whole race. Everyone's like, yeah, when the gun goes off, I'm not nervous anymore. And I'm like, you're kidding me, I'm nervous the whole flipping time. And I wasn't. And that's the first time that's ever happened to me.
Let me just say something that you just did. Did you notice that when you said you felt nervous, you went like this?
Yeah.
So it was partly on your chest, partly in your stomach.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
butterflies in the stomach, clenched in the heart, can't breathe.
Yeah.
Protected.
Interesting where we all hold it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I think I got there by working on the mental and the physical.
Yeah.
So work on your mental game.
Work on your mental game.
Mental.
So finally, I always ask people some fun little questions at the end of these interviews. So The first one I ask of everybody, if you couldn't fail, what would you try to do tomorrow? If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try to do tomorrow?
Oh my goodness.
Could be anything, not necessarily something you do now.
Climb Everest? I don't know. No, actually, wait, that's not. I guess maybe, I don't know, some way to give back that actually had an impact. I suppose. I don't know what that would be.
You can make that happen.
Get more people. It would be to have people have the luck of experiencing what I've experienced. That's what it would be.
And you can make that happen.
I can make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm
Right.
making it happen.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Cricket or footy?
Footy.
Okay, now the biggest question is chocolate, dark milk or white?
Milk. With a tinge of white.
Classic. I know you love your chocolate.
I do. Oh my darling.
Thanks, Leza.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant.
You get to wave to the camera while I turn
Thanks,
it off.
everybody. She's going to turn off the camera. See us next time on WeChats with Brilliant People.
We hope you enjoyed these Wee Chats. You can follow Wee Chats with Brilliant People on Twitter @WeChats and Facebook, and subscribe to the podcast series on iTunes or any Droid platform. Wee Chats with Brilliant People.